mind if I get from my life? Would you mind if I make you my wife? So leave your house, just come stay from my side. Money day, no fear from my side. The way you be, I can stay on my own. Find God, I heaven where you from come. I cry like girl, I'm falling for you.
Please, the papers will be passed round. Papers will be passed round. And please, because we want to move with the speed of light. Yes, move to this side. Yes. And please, if you're streaming this event on your phone, make sure it is a clear picture. If the phone is not good enough, please don't stream. At this point, we are very conscious of the quality of pictures and video of His Excellency that goes out. I know you're excited to see him. I know you're excited to be here. But if the quality of your video camera is not good enough, please, there is a live streaming already going on here. And so we are not lacking live streaming, please. And please, okay. This town hall meeting, is streamed live on Take Back Niger Facebook page, Take Back Niger YouTube channels. Huh? Then the link is on Twitter, so you can share. As you're here, you can share it. You can share that link. leave the thoroughfare. Let's all come in. Greatest Nigerian students.
My mommy no dey, baby,
The former governor of Anambra State, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, greatest Nigerian students, greatest Nigerian students. Are you excited to see His Excellency? Are you excited? Okay, let's be seated, let's be seated. Okay, very quickly, let me just ask that we rise and take the second stanza of the national anthem as the opening prayer for this event. All right, 1 to go. O God of our creation, direct our noble cause, guide our leaders right, help our use the truth to know, in love and honesty to grow and live in just and truth. Great lofty heights attain to build a nation where peace and justice shall reign. Greatest Nigerian students, greatest Bobo, greatest Baba, greatest Bo. Let's be seated. We welcome you, Your Excellency, the former governor of Anambra State, a two-term governor, a man who has a unique story to tell. The only presidential candidate that has been called upon by Nigerians to run, and the man that is running on behalf of Nigerians. Please, let's put our hands together for His Excellency, Mr. Peter Obi. All right, because we are racing with time, I'd like to recognize in our midst and on his entourage the Deputy DG of the campaign, Sir Oseloka Obaze. Please, can we put our hands together for him? I recognize the organizing secretary, the state coordinator, Captain Augustine Okon. All right, because this event was scheduled for 7 a.m. and His Excellency was ready to meet you at 7 a.m., but we know that there has been logistics challenge for most of you. We are going to, okay, because we know there are logistics challenge for you, we're going to move as fast as we can. And please, like I said, the event is streamed live on Take Back Nigeria pages, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. So you can share the link. Just go to Take Back Nigeria Niger page on Facebook. Take it to your page. Just share it on your page so that people would know that you are here. Would move very fast, and just before I leave the microphone to His Excellency to take your questions, I would just want the state coordinator to say a word to the students.
Good morning, dear students. I'm happy that all of you are here. I'm sorry the transport sent out to the guys in the interior has not been able to move them out here to join you. Thank you for, most of you I want to believe have all within the Uyo area. All the same, we will get going with the numbers we have. You're welcome. We are really running short of time, so I'll reduce the talking time so that you have time to interact with His Excellency. Good morning and welcome.
me stand on all due and existing protocols. Where is Mr. Jack? So that when I'm sure some of you might be wondering what we're doing here and everything. I spoke to him and I said, and I'm telling you, there must be a contact between myself and the youth. We started this, I called it breakfast with the youth. And you should be able to wake up by 7 a.m. What you do here, and what happens in Nigeria is that you are not part of the politics. Because as some of you think it's not your job. Some of you think we should be in school. It is a time that you have to build a country in which you're going to live in. It is a time you have, if you watch elections everywhere in the world, the campaigns are done in the campuses. Because we're deciding your future. It's not my future any longer. I've lived my life. It's your future. All these things that is happening now, you people are busy in school, working hard, trying to earn a degree, but you don't even know the society where you're going to live in. You're not even part of the society where you're going to live in. You're not even deciding it. Have any presidential candidates come to your campus before? Have any president gathered you like this before? But it's about your future. All of us that are contesting to be president today, some are in their 50s, in their 60s, in their 70s and 80s. How old are you? You're 22. Somebody who is 80 is deciding your future. How long does he have to live? You don't know. Thank you. So you could see it. It is a time to be part of what is happening. That is why I initiated that we must have a breakfast with the students. You can see that. And that is why you can see that I came here standing and eager to talk to you. I told Mr. Jack, I said, Mr. Jack, from now onwards, we must have breakfast with students. We must talk to those, we must go and listen to them. Governance is by democracy, is by consensus. Government actions must be demand-driven, not supply-driven. I cannot decide your future. You have to tell me what you want to do for your future. I must be able to answer questions from you. I must come to you. If I don't come to you, that means I don't want to serve you. And that's why I'm coming to you. We're not coming to you this thing. And I urge you, all of you, to do that sacrifice. Stop waiting for people to come and give you 1 naira, 2 naira on day of election, and then destroy your future. Stop going where people are giving you money in order to gather and destroy your future. Stop allowing those who are stealing your money to continue being in office. It is about your future. I've been like you, about through schools all over the world. Even if it's for one day, I've been privileged to pass through, out of the 10 best schools in the world, I've passed through 5. I've been from Harvard to Columbia to Kellogg to Oxford to Cambridge. I mean, I've been to all of them. And I know that what students can do. During the election in Oxford, the students are discussing who is the next person. They are reading what is offering them. In Harvard, the students prevented the American president from being the president of Harvard. You know that? Why? Thank you. Because he had an issue. And they said, no, he can't be our president. Students in Nigeria, if he's an ex-president, like they call me as governor, they say, hey, His Excellency. But they forget that his action can affect your life. They invite you for a party, and you go. If an American governor or anywhere in the world invites young girls to a party, he will resign the next day. They will remove him. Because I passed through university. We live the life like university students. So that is why I'm here. I'm just introducing it. So we now start. We have a few minutes. And that few minutes is that I want you to ask questions before I talk. I don't want to preach to you and tell you, I'll tell you in course of this. So we want to answer your questions. You want to start?
Okay, Your Excellency, we asked most of them to write the questions. So
no, they can't write it. If they write it, then they will write. They will not. I want them to look at my face and tell me, you don't deserve to be here.
Okay, so let's take numbers so that it will be orderly.
Good morning, Your Excellency. My question is this. What are your plans for graduates? I'm talking about new graduates in relationship to the corporate social responsibilities of FMCGs and private companies. You know, nowadays in Nigeria, private companies, instead of looking out to grow the Nigerian students, what they do is they come out there and give out pampers to people and call that corporate social responsibilities. Whereas we are having graduates churned out of the university every day, and we are calling them half-baked. And when they come out, you find out that the companies are looking for people with 9 years experience from a new grad. So what are your plans in regards to that?
Good morning, Your Excellency. My name is Uche Frediana. My question goes this way. I'm a proudly student of University of U, and currently one of the issues that is affecting students is reoccurring issues of strike. We have spent almost 2 years in year one, which is uncalled for. So what are the issues that you address regarding the issues of recurring ASU strike so that it will better the students? And because of issues of ASU, sometimes age is of essence, and when you graduate and you go into the labor market, they come up with the issue like you are more than the age we required, and this has been an issue for Nigeria students and youth as well.
I want to know this. It's very interesting.
Good morning, Your Excellency. Good morning, brothers and sisters. My name is William Sisson.
I want to get the name.
Your Excellency, underemployment and unemployment are critical issues for all students. At what level of education should the Nigerian in your administration stop schooling to either learn a trade or start a business? Seeing that after spending so many years in university, we are either underemployed or no job, or we are asked to go and learn a trade, and it's difficult for us that way. Number two, if you are creating jobs, which is a reward for schooling, how would you dismantle the bureaucracy which is in charge of underemployment in Nigeria? Thank you.
A lady. It has to be a lady.
Good morning. Good morning, sir. I'm Salome James, a civil engineering student of the University of Uyo. Thank you, sir. We have come to understand that this is the 24th century, and we are ahead technologically. Like, technology is far going ahead, yes. And I have seen that we have intelligent people in Nigeria. We have celebrated Nigerians overseas, but then we have not seen this thing come out from this country. So I want to know how you strategically put Nigeria in front when it comes to technology.
Okay, let me take this I have 5 questions. Even when I'm going to ask those who ask us to repeat it from time to time. Listen, no, don't worry. They'll get it. You leader. Wait, she will write it and bring. Let me talk about people who talk about unemployment. We have unemployment problem, my brother, because we don't have productivity problem. Nigeria is not producing anything. Consumption country. That's why you have unemployment. Because there's nothing being produced in Nigeria. That's why I said that this is the time for you people to take your destiny in your hands. So if I call you this morning and said, the presidential candidate wants to see you, and you come, and I give you 1,000 naira. And then you go back. On the day of election, I give you this, but I haven't said what I'm going to do. Why did I call you here? So you can tape what I'm saying. I'm going to do. Nigeria is remember a time to move it from consumption to production. It is only when you have a production and there's activities that you can create jobs. You have 139 million people live in poverty. Have you ever heard the point? 139 million Nigerians live in poverty for a country of 200 million people. We have huge youth unemployment. The youth don't know where they're coming from. The engineering students said something that is very unique. Nigerians are one of the most talented youths, very energetic, but nobody cares for them. They don't care for themselves. So if I'm a governor and I come to you and say, His Excellency, I give people 1 million naira to share and I go away. And they call me His Excellency. But I've done nothing for you. But if I plan how 2 or 3 of you will get a job, a foundation of every society, the most resourceful assets of Nigeria today is Nigerian youth, where all of you belong. You talk about age of employment. There's no age of employment. You should create the future. Students all over the world are creating the future. They are the ones who are starting businesses. When we talk about micro, small businesses, who starts micro, small businesses? The youths. So we should teach you skill. We should be able to provide access for funding so you can start businesses. We should create environment to make businesses thrive. That's what we should do. That's what government does all over the world. Government everywhere support their youth to be productive. Not for you to be looking for one corner job. All the countries we celebrate in the world were created by youths. And most of them were created in universities. What is the greatest company in the world today? Huh? Yes, Microsoft is one of them. Google, Amazon, which one? Facebook. All these companies were created by youths. All these companies were created by people who are doing this. Alibaba. Let me start with Alibaba. Jack Ma, who created Alibaba, wanted to be a policeman. They wouldn't take him in police because he was very short. His height was short. So they didn't take him in police. He wanted to go and serve in McDonald's, to sell McDonald's. They wouldn't take him because he's very short. The counter, he's not above the counter. So today he created a fortune. He was a school teacher, young man like you. Founder of Microsoft is Bill Gates. William Gates was admitted in Harvard and he left after 2 years to create Harvard. All the companies we have mentioned, Apple was created by somebody who was picked from a home. You call it Motherless Baby Son. He was picked from there. He went to school like you. The teacher said he doesn't know anything. They don't. They said the future. So you do not wait for government to create jobs. Government will create create everything that will make it. That's what I want you to do. I want you to put your thinking cap. You were right. The future belongs to science. We want to encourage. You asked about strike. I've said it and I repeated it. We must find solution to our students will no longer be out. If I have opportunity to serve them, it will never happen. I'm not saying it's going to end automatically, but we must find a solution to it. We must sit down with the lecturers. We must sit down with the teachers and find how we can blend from government support, from corporation support, from loan and every activity to make sure that our students do not stay at home again. 4 years must be 4 years, 5 years must be 5 years. We are moving behind and we must deal with that issue as quickly as we can. We must be able to ensure that graduates that are coming out of school have a place to go, or they can do what? Start their own job. They can start their own business and employ people. That was why I talked about starting this. We must provide all those facilities. It is not the of the world that are doing it. If you go to Indonesia, micro small businesses own 97% of the entire companies in Indonesia. And they have less than 5% unemployment. And who are those owners? Youths. China that we call today, 60% of China productivity, export, Japanese, 60% of employment are MSMEs, which are the youth. We want you to employ people. We want to bring a future into you. That's why I'm noting what you're saying. Your worries, your future. Is there anyone I haven't covered his answer question? Which one? That's waste of everybody's time. You don't need CSR. What you need is how to start your own future. I'm not going to allow CSR. We're going to have Bank of Industry create funding for the youth to borrow and start their own business. We're going to have fiscal and monetary policy that will provide support for SMEs, support grants for SMEs who wants to do something. I lived in the UK and I made money in the UK. If Steve Jobs, all these people will call, we're here, nobody will give, they won't be where they are. You know why? You know why? Huh? They don't have access. So that's what I want to do. That's why I said you must take your future. People are stealing your money. And all you do is to call them His Excellency. Is there a thief excellent?
Good morning, sir.
Yes.
I'm actually concerned about the NYC.
Right. What is wrong with it?
At the moment, it's impacting on the education, the educational system of the country.
How? I want to learn.
When I said, I'm a civil engineer, I'm practicing. But when I said I was posted to a school, a private school, to teach, so the students were in my hands, even without teaching experience. So I would like to know what you do to control posting people without teaching experience, because most schools are run by corpers as we speak. So these corpers might not have the teaching experience to teach students properly. So we have to know who is going to the school to teach these students, instead of sending engineers, sometimes even as bad as lawyers, they send law students to go and teach in schools. So I'd like to know how you impact that. So I would like to know how you make that effect.
A lady? A lady? There's a...
My name is Joseph Etim. His Excellency, I want to say in other countries, students are given the opportunity for classroom and also the work. And this helps students to overcome their financial constraints. Now, I want to ask, how is this possible and how are you going to help?
Good morning, Your Excellency. My name is Kenneth Anwana. I'm a student of University of Uyo. We've mentioned here about people moving into the digital age, and we are still stuck in what would seem like the Stone Age in a lot of things. We have the problem of education, the ASU strike and all, but most of our studying environments are not up to standard. The teacher-to-student ratio is not something I think is taken into cognizance down in these parts. You have a classroom that is meant for, say, 50 people being occupied by, at least maybe 10 times that number. It is difficult for a student to learn in such an environment. I'd like you to tell us what plans you would have to affect those institutions that are under the federal government's portfolio, how you'd be able to help us in that aspect. Thank you.
Good day, Mr. Excellency. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Don't worry. I have son, but not that right. Other than you just call me. Fine. Just call me.
This is going to be a good summer.
You don't know. Come from me.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Peter Obi. Okay, my name is Christian Kroma. I'm a student, physics student in AkwaIbom State Poly. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Okay, please, my question is, please, how are you going to evolve this major dichotomy in the Nigerian universities, polytechnics, and College of Educations, where when the polytechnic student is out of school and goes to look for a job, he's paid lower. He's paid lower against the university's people. And the second question is, how are you going to evolve the Nigerian university systems, like the technological war? Like, I'm a physics student, but what I'm just learning is simple pendulum bob.
Thank you.
I'm learning when AI technology is advancing and robotics, a lot of things are moving in the world. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. This is the woman. No. I'll start with you. You had these two questions. And it's not far away from where you are. His two question is, he's not learning with the equipment and what he's supposed to learn with. Just like Nigeria itself. So this is what we need to overcome. To have this young man who is learning physics, which is one of the fundamentals of science, to be properly equipped to learn with the right tools and everything. That's what we need to do. And then he's talking about dichotomy between university graduates and polytechnic graduates. Let me tell you, that is nonsense. Absolute nonsense. It's because of the country I live in, where people are talking about sharing. I just told you that somebody, the greatest company in the world, was found by somebody who was picked from a home whose teacher said is the dance. And he found the world's greatest company. All of you use WhatsApp. WhatsApp was found by a truck driver. So I can go on and tell you about discoveries in the world. So it has no, once you have basic education, you are educated. The rest is what you do with the, so we need to improve on what you're saying to be able to ensure that the right things are done. That's why I said to you, nobody comes to listen to you. When I became governor and I started going to secondary schools, in the end, what happened? We were able to move school from number 26 and 27 in work to number 1. Because I listen to them. That's why I'm listening to you. I can't serve you what your problem is. His Excellency business. I want you to talk to Mr. Obi. That's what I want you to do this morning. And I'm listening to you. Was your question answered? What did you ask again? Let me tell you, there's nothing we can do to it. This is what is. You've ever heard me talk about students. The condition in which you go to school, if you go abroad, you have first class. I have done it now. I have done it. I'm a practical experience. I went to Nsukka. And I've told you that I've been to Nsukka. And I've done course London School of Economics, Oxford University, Cambridge, everywhere. And I can tell you that we continue to improve it because it's not productive. The reason I can tell is that we will improve, but let me tell you how to improve it. Today, our universities, that's what I said, we must find a combination of how we can fund the universities. Our universities are not properly funded. We must find a combination. And that combination will be a government corporations, and there may be loans. We might end up where we have student loans so that universities can be well funded. You can't build those universities on asking you today to pay 50 or 100,000 naira. No. We'd rather give you loan and you pay 500. When you come out and you have a job, you pay. So let me tell you, this is the condition. When you come out and you have a job, that means you must have a job. The societies must evolve. to try to create a future. We're not doing that. We're just stuck in one place, and it won't work. And with corruption all over the place, people are not doing the right thing. Who again asked questions that have not been answered? What did you ask? People who graduated and found jobs, so we can't give to students. You see the wahala. In other places, people who can do menial jobs and everything, because there's opportunities. Here, there's no opportunity. So you can't be working and be... Listen, I met a Nigerian last year. No, I'm talking about last year. Yes, we're now in December. In October, I was in America. I was still campaigning. I went to speak in a place. In the morning, I entered the taxi. It was driven by a Nigerian. I entered Uber. Very lovely car. I was driven by a Nigerian. The moment I entered the car, he said, "Where are you from?" I said, he said, "He's from Nigeria." And everything. I said, "So what do you think about Nigeria?" He said, "Listen, oh man, that country will never, it's finished. There's no way." I said, no, how can? He said, "It's finished. It's a waste of everybody's time. The country is finished. Nothing will ever make the country war." Oh my. And I said, "So you don't go back to Nigeria?" He said the only time he goes back to Nigeria, if he wants to feel how, that whenever he thinks of heaven and when he wants to feel a sense of hell, he goes to Nigeria. And I said, "You can't say things like this. You're from Nigeria." He said, "I'm telling you, whenever I'm in heaven, like I'm here, whenever I want to feel like I go to hell, I go there. There's no light, there's no need." And we argued. And I was on the back of his car. And I said, "So what do you think about this election?" He said, "It won't produce anything. It's nonsense." You know? I said, "But there's some people who are on." He said, "Yes. There's one man they call Peter who is on him. But let me tell you, even as honest and everything as people preach is going to be, he will not get anywhere. It will be the same thing." He said, "Let me tell you, it will be the same thing." Yes. And I kept telling him, but what they are saying, they say, one good thing, he never said anything bad about me. But they say he's a good man. He said, forget it. He doesn't know how Nigeria works. When he gets there, he'll be overwhelmed, because when you have rogues all over the place, how can one man change it? That if I were the man, he'll just go home and look after his family. He's doesn't stop wasting his time and everything. So I go to LaGuardia Airport, and I go down to pay him, and I said, "I'm Mr. Peter Obi." And he said, "Are you?" I said, "Yes." He brought out his phone. I looked at the picture. He said, "You are the man." He jumped down from his car, hugged me, took my numbers and everything. He said, "Let me tell you, I've changed my mind. I'm going to vote for you." So, my dear, but there's something he told me. He's doing 3 jobs. He has a printing shop. You won't believe it. Street of Nigeria has a printing shop, which is done during the day. In the evening, he will do restaurants till about 11, then do Uber from 4 to 7. And he's doing very well. If you see where he lives, you won't believe he does this type of job. Because it's opportunity for those 3 jobs. But tell me, where's the opportunity for you to do anything extra here? There's none. Because it's not a productive country. I'll tell you about the production of the country.
Sir, there is a question.
NYSC, let me tell you about the NYSC. There's nothing wrong with the NYSC. If they say that, do you know why they formed the NYSC? It was for national unity. It was for a service like in the military. That's why they stand between. NYSC was something that came from other countries where you learn some part of other countries you don't know, for national unity, for national this, to be able to experience other side of the country, to be able to, but the whole thing is being divided by politicians. The division you see in Nigeria is politicians. Because they live off the confusion. To maintain it, they tell you about the confusion there is. But there's nothing wrong in it. A lawyer can teach anyone. An engineer, you can teach anything. Can even teach English. I can tell you. The idea is not for you, it's actually mentorship. Mentorship. I have a daughter. I have 2 kids, 1 boy, 1 girl. My daughter is a teacher. Teaches in secondary school. But recently when I started campaign, I had to stop her because I don't want it to happen to her. Because that's the only one I have. Yes, when you have to, you guide them. Because I don't have many of them, but she's a teacher. And she read literature. And she teaches, and when teaches in secondary school, in a public secondary school in Lagos, and she enjoys it. You know, not, they don't pay, they pay her little money. And but she's happy with it, and because people have to do what they're happy with. But there's nothing wrong. It's something that brings you close to people. Makes boundary, it's passion, it's caring. In life you must care. That's what the human being, what makes the human being is the passion, the caring, the love. That's what makes, that's the difference between a human being and an animal. Animal can eat each other, can quarrel with each other, but human is meant to care. So NYC, that's what is developed. But it's turned into another thing. Next one. Fernando 8. Okay.
Good morning, Your Excellency. Good morning, everybody. My name is Nifreke Det. I'm a student of University of Uyo. Please, my question goes like this. Please, what are your plans for less privileged, I mean special students? How are you going to tell the whole world that there is always an ability in a disability?
Good morning, everybody. My name is AkwaIbom Fidelis. I'm proudly a member of Take Back Niger and also a final year student of electrical and electronics engineering. Sir, the age we are now is a data age. So as a student, I've actually suffered a lot from delays from ASU strike and others. I want to ask, sir, what is your plan for our educational and scientific research centers? Because back in 2020, they said they disbursed funds for COVID vaccine research, but we didn't get a result from that. And we also suffer a lot as students getting data because you have to make the data yourself. So what is your plan for educational research centers, especially in science-based courses?
Hello, sir. Mr. Peter, welcome to you. My question has nothing to do with students, but it's a concern that has never been addressed. My name is Sonny Life. I'm an online presenter of Peter Obi's News, covering over 200,000 people. The question right now is about, we've spoken about from consumption to production. But I've not heard anything about from extortion to service. I'm an efficiency guy because of my training. I've watched all institutions in Nigeria. They are designed to extort. All, I don't want to name. All of them. If you keep anyone on a dissect, it's extortion mostly. But
Can you tell me what extortion?
okay, extortion, like you design a business model right now. After designing it, instead of it to serve this man, please them, and they pay you for you serving them, you design the business model as if you are serving them, but actually you are not serving them. Let's say, for example, let's look at NEPA. Let's look at banking system. Let's look at NEPA. NEPA says it's giving you light, but it's not giving you light. So you pay for the pole, you pay for the transformer, you pay for the wire, and they are charging you prepaid. There was no like 3 weeks, 3 months. When I came to collect light, I tell them, please, you've not paid, you're not giving us light. They said, but you must pay the bill. And they actually force us to pay. So what I'm trying to say is, if you look at almost all systems,
Okay.
Extortion is more the reason into business. Why can't we design business that we save? They will make money from saving from people.
Okay.
This is a big issue if Nigeria needs to move on. Thank you.
Okay. Let me answer this question. Sorry. 1 minute. Did you get what he said? In Nigeria, there's extortion instead of service. Am I right? Do you know why they extort people? Because you have a society where that is not producing anything. You have a society where people don't cherish love, creativity, production. It brings me to what that man is saying, the man in electronics. When he said it, you know where my head went to? Let me tell you one interesting thing. The founder of Sony Electronics, the founder of Sony Electronics is a man called Akio Morita. Akio Morita founded Sony Electronics. And he went to University of Tokyo and met a student like you who was eating electronics engineering. And he told Akio Morita, you don't know what you're doing. Guess what happened? Akio Morita, as the CEO and founder, hired Olga, who later became the CEO of Sony. That's what we need. That's what I'm saying. There's no creativity. That's what you're doing now. Because if you ask me now a question, if he takes up now, that's why everybody gets up and says, His Excellency. If he gets up now and says me, listen, you don't know what you're talking. You know what people will do here? They say, get out of here. Don't talk like that. But I might not know what I'm talking. I was telling people a story yesterday. How I went to a school and I made a promise. I'm going to fix the school. I went there in about October and I found out they have no roof. There's something wrong with their roof. And they gave me a bill and I said I'm going to fix it. In January I came back. Aisha was listening to it. I came here with somebody all of you might know in social critic, Aisha Yusuf. I was telling her, I was listening to a story yesterday and I thought it's not the story when people were talking about it. I went to a place. So I promised I'm going to fix it. I'm going to give them the check. I didn't do that. In January, I came back and talking to a group of students. And I said, like I told you people now, question and answer time. A young girl in JS1 raised her hand. And I said, let me start with you, tiny daughter. And he got up and took my phone and said, Governor, why do you make promise you don't keep? What happened in that hall? What happened in that hall? Everybody kept quiet. The principal of the school ran to her to close her mouth. And she was frightened and crying. And I told everybody to leave her. I want